Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. Sending out a lot of love. We're on the road to 500,000, so subscribe if you enjoy. If not, that's okay.
So this is the local project. So shout out to the local project. And yeah, this was sent to me. Is this the best modern house in the world? House tour. Let's find out. Now let's just take a look and have a subjective view, because if it's the best modern house, it's really
the area we're in
personal
is just
preference.
South of Newcastle. It's the Awabakal people.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The area we're in is just south of Newcastle. It's the Awabakal people's place, and in the later 1800s there was an incredible botanic garden here that inspired the idea of a landscape-based project where we had the ability to grow the landscape up around the house.
I'm not gonna lie, I like the idea of things like this, like homes that are built kind of like with the natural structure of the mountains or the hills or nature, because it's like who like didn't think to integrate builds with nature. Like trees stand for a long fucking time. Imagine just building a house around the center of it. Like, that'd be so fucking cool. Or just like something. I mean, it's supposed to roots in the ground, but like, imagine just, I don't know.
Called it the Bunkeren, which is
The
a name
Bunkeren.
the owners came up with because it's Danish for bunker.
That was not easy to see.
It's an experiment in looking closely at all of the important things houses need to do and trying to make them exciting and make them adventurous. It's on this rocky edge of Australia, and the idea was that the building platforms will float amongst enclosures that are hard to tell where they start and stop.
Oh, that's
These
clever.
hanging gardens, if you like. And then the house can have all of the freedoms that gives it underneath, in terms of not very many columns and no supporting walls.
When I see homes like that, I'm like, okay, these are like the places where they're gonna use for a horror movie someday, definitely, or some like survivor movie or something odd, because like anyone living there, like, I don't know, the area must be nice too. I just feel like you're so maybe not, because I definitely would live like that out. It almost looks like out so secluded, just in its little part of this just area. Just, it's the only house, it's by itself. But it's like, then for some reason my mind goes straight to, imagine getting murdered there. Like, you would never, like, if you didn't have any family or friends or no one to come check on you, like the mailman, you just be dead. Like, if the mailman wasn't that perceptive and like was like, I haven't seen, like say you were someone who got their mail as soon as the mail truck came, and then they noticed the pattern that you stopped. I don't know. But like, it's just so in the emptiness. I always think that with houses, is like, bro, imagine if just some wanderer just came there. It's just the windows. It was just so open. Look at this. It's just so open. But maybe like it's just a different atmosphere of like people and stuff, so you don't never have to worry about that. But I doubt that glass is like ballistic, bulletproof.
We didn't want to obsess about views, and we didn't want to obsess about being devoted to that. We were more keen on family and landscape.
Nice.
So the house is designed for quite a lot of family to gather and have quality in things that are important.
Okay.
Cooking, gardening, raising young children, swimming, and being in nature.
Okay.
Plus an appreciation for local artists and
Local
furniture
artists.
that the family's inherited. So it was about making a home, and that's something I learned from the Danes in this project, really was the value of being able to bring an architecture down to human scale through fittings and fixtures and lighting and furniture.
That's sick.
Whilst the house goes along with
See, I think I really fancy these modern houses. I really do like the kind of like, and especially like how he's explaining it, how it's integrated with nature and stuff. That's what makes it even better. That part in the beginning about getting murdered, I don't know if anyone caught that was a joke. I would still live here if there was the risk of getting murdered.
Parts of it, and it can look quite big at times. The rooms are quite intimate.
So far, the only thing I would change, right, is that big old tennis court in the background. In the back of the house, or maybe that's the front. It's oddly just a lot of space. I feel like, yeah, that you would just look at that in the morning. I don't know what I'd put. What would I put in place of that? I don't know. I'd probably let that area be more of like just more nature.
And it's really set
I don't think we've seen the
do
pool yet.
as possible, and allow the family to then inhabit with their things and their way of life. The intent with the approach to the house was that you didn't arrive at a house so much as a landscape with a small part that pops up and says, oh, okay, here's the entrance. The roofs are all planted, and there will be a good time, probably in 10 or 20 years, when that jungle has grown up. And
It'll be unclear whether it's a building or not. That's sick. See, that's, yeah,
we
that's
all
perfect.
Got very excited about bunkers because we love them. But then we realised, well, why do we like bunkers? And is it even a good idea to do a house like a bunker?
We did a house like a bunker, but it doesn't operate the same, right? Is he about to tell us like the glass is like industrial? You can't break the glass.
And the list of things that the idea of an earth-integrated building gave us advantages for was quite extensive. So it's bushfirey here, it's in the middle of a forest. And not having the risk of burning down is a pretty big relief for families.
So it's
Then
straight
they have
concrete.
storms here just south of Newcastle. So there's that quality. Plus, doing a robust house, you can allow the landscape to come up and over, and you don't worry about cleaning gutters, and you don't worry about mold, and you don't worry about termites. No painting ever. There's a whole list of things that are simplified, despite it being more difficult to build a concrete house.
It's more okay. But it's very functional. That's crazy. Okay.
For our purposes, that meant that we can support the ecosystems and the microclimates and the birds and the natural species, and support this beautiful garden environment that we'd inherited. However, the challenge of bringing light and ventilation in was one that we were aware of. And so by making these platforms of concrete that floated, also pulling some light.
Before I lose this thought in my mind, I was just going to say, like, you know, I love how there's like two sides of the coin. Where it's like, you know, some people think it's inevitable that, like, we're just going to destroy the earth. And then there's the other side of the coin where it's like, you know, people are actually trying to do things to make it better. Whether that be too late, who knows? But then there's that really slim middle piece in the coin where I'm at. And I'm like, well, if either is happening, why not go on the right side of the coin, which is, like, really integrating nature. And the way he's talking about it is just, like, speaks for itself. It's really cool. It's really, really fucking cool.
Through slots of skylight. Although you're in the ground, half buried, you also have this feeling of elevation.
It's like the illusion. That's really cool.
I've brought gardens into bathrooms that are lit from above. And that light and planting in a place that you think you're underground is a surprise.
It's fucking cool. I'm not gonna hold you.
Then we had this idea in the brief. The owners wanted a room that was a bit less used and a bit more interesting. We realised that the ideal levels for the house permitted us to make a hole in the rock. We could reveal that and make the building seem like it's grown out of it.
That's sick.
And then shape it a little bit for a cellar.
So that's this room? Is this inside the house?
The idea of taking the external material internally
Whoa.
and then warming it with timber and furniture and the beautiful Danish light fittings meant that there's then a very sparing quality, a very mute, stand back, not really draw attention to itself quality to enable the intimacy of space making that the Danes bring to these domestic spaces.
Oh, bro, when I hear Danes, I'm just thinking of the Last Kingdom. I'm just straight up thinking to the Last Kingdom, man.
There really is just growing landscape and concrete and then brass and wood.
Oh, that's so sick. That looks so good. Pictures you could get there would be amazing.
And because the architecture is similar material externally to internally, when the doors and windows are open, you're not really sure where the building begins and ends.
It's very true, very, very true.
Such a magic climate, and so we wanted to really enjoy the morning sun and the afternoon sun in different ways in different parts of the house, as well as being aware of wind direction. You can open the house in different directions at different times.
What the fuck?
The house is set up to not be the thing. The thing
is the landscape. That's cool.
There's something comforting about solidity and permanence.
Especially in a place like this.
And there's also something
Solidity.
magical about seeing the landscape growing up around it.
Okay, the one thing I just thought about is having to manage it, though. Because, like, if the land starts boofing, what are you gonna like, these must not grow that insanely, like spread out, so it must not be too bad. But when nature starts boofing, you're gonna have to
quality of the land to do something high quality,
do some management
in it, and then enable that landscape to thrive. My favourite part of the house for sure is the part that's half rock and half house. It's just a nice reminder that we share this place with nature. We don't control it all. We're only part of the equation, and there's a lot to enjoy in the longevity of it.
I feel like there's a few architects watching this video talk about some, no, this is actually worse for the environment. So if there are some, let me know down below, because I want to know, because this actually seems great. I was about to say, like, man, more architects need to do this. Hop in. Man, I remember the day when I was going to go for being an architect. The design is awesome. And the top-down view really shows you it's a really, really good display of what he was explaining. It's like the only real places where you can tell it's a house are the edges right here. Right here, these big spaces. But then it's like this right here, it's like you wouldn't know what was under each piece. It looks like it's just kind of like boxed out land that you can walk on top of. But then when you look down, it's like literally an entire base. It's really cool. And then solar panels, that's really cool. That's the art. And then, yeah, so this is the architect. This is his favorite piece of the house. This is actually really cool. So they drilled out a hole, and they just basically kind of went with the natural just cave. Like, it like made a natural man cave. Pretty much a unnatural man cave. Legit a natural man cave. Then he talked about the, where was it? Where did he talk about it? Oh, the brass is cool. That's a weird thing. I'm like used to seeing just like, what is it? I actually never really thought about what faucets and stuff are made of, but to see it as brass is pretty cool. That's odd. Or like a lot of the brass railings and stuff as like one of the main metals. That's really cool. Let me see. I'm trying to find the part. Yeah, was it here? Yeah, the microclimates and birds. That's cool. So like suppose you'd never have to cover the pool, but would you want to cover this?
For our
It almost seems like,
purposes, that meant that we can support
yeah,
the
this is the part I was looking for. Like the birds would come. Oh man, imagine waking up, because this is a bedroom right here. Waking up and just seeing a bunch of birds right here, just like drinking or just. This is in Australia, so I wonder what animals will come by here. But yeah. Oh yeah, this is Australia too. I forgot about all the deadly bugs. Nah, it's a cool house. Definitely a cool house. Best modern house in the world? Damn. I haven't seen too many modern houses by now, but I've seen a few. I would say out of the ones I've seen, this is the best. Because it's literally trying to... Like, the architect literally had environment, everything in mind going and designing it. So, and trying to put a building in a space where it's like not it's including the environment, it's not interrupting the space. It seems cool. I don't know what else to really say. And if you're gonna do something like this, it is gonna be better than most modern houses. I wonder, like, there's a cliffside one next. That's the transcript. Okay, well, that's it. Much love and moonlight. Let me know what you think down below. Would you live here? Would you live here with a friend? Would you bring your whole family here? Or would you live it solo, like you're playing Rust? This kind of looks like this is a compound. All right, I'm out of here. Peace out.